studios in New York City. This is Charlie Rose.
This year marks the 10th year anniversary of the Shawshank Redemption, a film that was nominated for 7 Academy Awards. Since that time, the film has seeped into our culture and our hearts. It is one of the most memorable stories in home video history. It found its audience through television, video, and Laserdisc. Within 5 years, the movie became a phenomenon. With me today is the director, Frank Darabont, and 2 of the film stars, Morgan Freeman and Tim Robbins. I am pleased to have them here. Welcome.
Thank you so much, sir.
Since I've seen you, you have learned to fly.
I've learned to fly.
Since I've seen you, you've won another Academy Award.
My first.
Your first.
Yeah.
Well, and how about you, Frank?
I've been, I don't know.
Should have been your second.
Getting
Should have
grayer.
been your second. The first should have been for Andy, right?
Yep.
Well, then was
Thank
that?
you, Morgan.
Well, I got nominated, and I was certainly there with you.
And you should have won as well.
Well,
But 7, you won 7.
But we nominated.
No.
We
Nominated
got
for 7.
we were
No,
nominated
nominated for
for
7, I'm
7,
sorry.
We won none.
We
won
won not a
none.
stinking one.
no.
Well, it was the year of Gump.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, this film, more than any film probably since then, has gone on to have this kind of mystique, success in the DVD market and everywhere else. Now it's going to be reissued
Yes.
as a DVD
And theatrically as
and
well.
theatrically as
Prior to
well
that.
in
It's all
September.
right, all right. Yeah. We're
Yes.
just going to get a new theatrical release.
Yes.
Wow. See what happens
Pretty
there.
cool.
Right. So I want to explore this phenomenon first with you. Take me through a Stephen King novella to a script.
That was a process of actually beginning about 5 years before we shot the movie, of getting the rights from Steve King. I had done a short film based on one of his short stories, so he knew me and knew of my work, so I asked him for the rights to this. I think he was intrigued because it seemed so unlikely a movie that he actually said yes. It took about 5 years to get around to it, but then I sat down and wrote the script, 8 weeks flat, took it straight to Castle Rock. They read it, took it to them because of Rob Reiner, really, and because of Stand By Me, which was also a Stephen King story, and a very delicate material. I figured if anybody got Shawshank, it would have to be them. And they did. And I had just nothing but wonderful support from them from that moment on.
So this was a movie easy to sell once you had a script.
Yes, with Castle Rock out there, absolutely. And thank God for them, really, because it might have been easier to sell to another studio, but then who knows exactly through the development process, what might have wound up on screen. Castle Rock left it alone and let it happen, which is rare.
How is the movie, in terms of script, different from the story that Stephen King? For example, Red is an Irish, what else?
He's a white Irish guy.
White Irish guy.
Hey, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
He didn't say he was white Irish. It could have been black Irish.
Should have been black.
Absolutely.
Some parts were enhanced.
Yes.
You killed off some characters that weren't killed off by.
Yes, indeed. The Gil Bellows character, the young Tommy
Right.
character, was not, gotten rid of quite so dramatically as in the film. But these are the screws that you tighten, really, when you adapt a script. The James Whitmore character didn't actually exist in the Steve King story.
That became a big thing.
It became actually the narrative, the thematic spine, I think, to the narrative was the James Whitmore character, really to be illustrative of the theme and what these guys, the equation these guys were balancing.
The Andy character.
Yeah.
Pretty much what it was.
Yes, very close, very close. Although Steve King did describe him as a little guy.
Yeah. Is that it? No 6'5" right here.
No, no. Little guy, white guy. I totally, went opposite.
Now, the
both
idea
counts.
to have the narration from Red,
Yeah.
was that there?
That was very much a function of the voice that Steve King used to tell the story. It was a first-person narrative. In a sense, the story was narrated by Red. And that voice was so strong and so present in his story, and I really couldn't imagine the movie without it. So when I adapted the script, I followed that as my path. And then, luckily, we had this man's voice.
Exactly. We'll get to that later.
Yeah,
More
exactly.
about that later. So
Yeah.
casting. So you know your script, you know your narration. You know what you want to do with this film.
Yeah.
You go to him and
Yeah.
you send him a script.
Yeah.
He's your first guest.
Yeah.
You saw the script. Mm-hmm. Liked it.
Loved it. They just sent me the script, and so
They didn't say the job is yours. They said read this.
yeah, read this, and I read it. My agent had sent it to me, and I said, "Oh, this is fabulous." And I said, "Okay, who they want me to play?" He said, "Red." I said, "You're kidding." I said, "Oh, that's the part."
Now, why did you say
never knew that.
you're kidding?
That's the whole shebang. That's the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, that.
So why is
that
Morgan Freeman?
drives the whole thing. It sets the tone for it. It
It's his integrity
establishes-
that is the core of this movie.
Well, it's yeah.
Yeah, Frank, am I right or not?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So why were you surprised they wanted you to play that character, or were
I'm
you?
always surprised when they give me a good role. I'm always surprised.
Even
It's just-
today, huh?
Even today, yeah. You know, it's just.
And when you see one, you just say,
yeah,
I mean, you just hug it and say,
I'll do it. Yes.
And so you get the script.
Yes.
Is this as good a script as you've seen? I mean, is this a script that comes along once every generation or once every decade
I
or
would
once
say
every
that's
something?
probably the best script I've ever read.
I take credit. I take credit.
For what? Bringing him in. You were his idea? He was your idea?
Was he?
What? Yeah. I heard this before. Nick.
I didn't know that.
They said.
You didn't know that until right now?
You might have told me.
Or you might have forgotten it.
Well,
'Cause
he said stuff like that. He's taught me everything I know about acting too. So I never know when to take him seriously. But
No, but they did. They, you know, we caucused and we were and they said, well, so who do you want to play Andy? And they gave me a list of names. I said, that one. Excellent. I said,
You did?
yeah.
In other words, he was on the list of names and you said, this is the guy. And why did you think Robbins was right for Andy?
Because he's right for just about
Everything.
anything. Yeah, he's
Right.
really
I mean,
and
Mystic Rivers is very as far from Andy as you can get, I guess.
yeah, and you know they were just actors who you want to do certain things with, and he's the guy.
Now, is this the way you operate? You show your lead here, a list of people that might be associated with him, whatever the largeness or the smallness of the role is, and say, tell me how you feel about this?
I solicit ideas from everybody around me, and certainly asking the actors who are already committed who else they might have in mind is never
These
a
are
bad
people
idea.
we're thinking about. That's what they said. These are people
Yeah.
we're thinking about.
Absolutely.
Which one of these would you
But
feel comfortable
the same
with?
would have been true had Tim been cast first.
First.
I'm
You would have
sure
said
we were
who?
going through the same process, not just as a courtesy, but
No,
hey,
it's
what do you
part of
think?
it.
Now,
Who's-
suppose Morgan's
where do
name
you
had
think
been put on the list. Would you have chosen him?
oh, absolutely.
He's better not saying that. Yeah.
What did I tell you when I first met you?
No.
Yeah.
When?
Electric company, baby.
And how many years have you been hearing that?
Seems like all my life, man.
But it was really seriously just the script. There's no. You probably wouldn't have had any problem with other studios because the script is just it's a blueprint for great script writing.
Yeah.
It's really if you're studying script writing, it's the one.
Okay,
to read.
but tell me what that means. I mean, it means the characters and what they say
It all
and...
rolls off the page. The descriptions are great. The visual, your idea that you get of what it is visually, you get the tone in the writing, you get the character development. There's all the right things are left out, which is a hard thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the subtext that some writers have a tendency to want to put in there, just lays back on it. You know, each of these characters has secrets and that you want to know about, and you don't know what the real thing is. You don't know if this guy's guilty or not. You don't know what my secret is for the whole thing. So there's all these little things in it that added up to just a tremendous script.
And it moves. It just moves. You know, covers what 20 years,
20 years, yeah.
and you can tell that amount of time is going. That it's not like, oh well, just a minute ago there was so and so. You know, I mean it has the arc is clear.
Does this also mean that an actor can really do his, not only you're given the page, but then you can do what you bring best, which is surprise, creativity to the part?
Yeah, I think when you read a script like this, each page is painting you.
Yeah.
You know, is filling you in. All of the dots are being connected for you. And it's what makes acting a joy when you get to do it. You get a script that says, it's all already there. We don't have to go and sit and say, okay, how are we going to get this across? Because it's done. It's
Tell me
done.
about your
You know that intuitively. You know? Tell you what?
Tell me about your character.
Red?
Yeah.
He's